Hi, my name is Mr. Nyrome. This video is in response to ilastdays. I'm going to call you Last Days just for short. First of all, let me say this. Everything that you've brought up has been brought up thousands of times before. We Mormons have addressed each of these things like you're saying and pointing out. It's just that new people seem to find the old anti-Mormon sites and they don't update their web pages, so people just read them and then automatically believe them and then say it's true. So really, I can tell you don't know this stuff for yourself. You're just kind of believing on the words of others that are anti-Mormons. I can take the first 5 things that you brought up and I can tell you that you're totally mistaken. And then what do you have to say? You know, whoops, I believe someone told me a lie and I told the same lie. So let's just kind of look at what it is that you had to say. You said that when Mormon missionaries come to your door, they, one, won't tell you that your church is wrong. They won't tell you that they wear garments. They won't tell you that what goes on inside the temple. They won't tell you that women receive salvation only through their Mormon husband. They won't tell you that you have to remain pregnant all through eternity. So let's just take those 5 things here real quick and address those. Number 1, we won't tell you your church is wrong. Now, this is absolutely true. When the Mormon missionaries come, we're going to tell you what we believe. We're going to tell you why we believe what we do, and if you pray about it, you might even see that what you have been taught before wasn't totally correct. We'll give you a new perspective to look at. We'll back it up with Scripture. But last day, you're absolutely right, is that we will not knock on the door and say, "Hi, I'm Mr. Nyrome. I'm Mormon, and your church is wrong." You know, if you look at it, every church feels that what they believe is right. And if you went to church every Sunday and did not believe what they were preaching, then why would you even go to that church? It just happens all the time that people want to know what it is that we believe. And after we tell them and share our doctrine with them, it kind of touches their heart in such a way that it's undeniable to them that we're speaking the truth. People only join a particular church because they feel it is right. Now, the next thing you brought up is that the Mormon missionaries won't tell them that we wear garments. Well, is that the first thing that you tell people after knocking on somebody's door? So this comment is kind of very true. I don't think you're going to be seeing us knocking on the door and saying, "Hi, I'm Mr. Nyrome, I'm Mormon, your church is wrong, and I wear special underwear called garments." So far, you're 2 for 2. You know, I mean, if anybody knocked on your door and started talking about the underwear they wear, I just kind of think you'd have the right to kind of shut the door in their face. Besides, you know, Mormons don't have to wear them if they don't want to. Most members of the church are given the privilege to wear them, and those who are do. You brought up that we won't tell you what goes on inside the temple. Now, this is absolutely false. We tell people all the time what goes on inside the temple. There are marriages performed in the temple. We do our marriages for all time and eternity, rather than what most of the other ministers in other churches and judges and everything can only do it until death do you part. They're actually giving you a divorce decree. And inside the temple, we make covenants with the Lord. These are promises that we make to Him to obey His commandments, and in return, He promises us things. We also do ordinances for those who have already crossed over to the other side. Will we discuss the actual rituals? No. That is very sacred to us. It's not a secret thing. It's sacred. We just feel that the temple is a very, very holy place, just kind of like the Indians felt that they're sacred places. They didn't want people to be there or see them or anything like that. It was very sacred to them. The promises that I make between me and the Lord are between me and the Lord. It's not between me, everybody else, and the Lord. So we kind of keep those things to ourselves. Will anybody be allowed in the temple? Yes, at times, absolutely. One of the times is after the temple has been constructed and before it's been dedicated. Anyone's allowed in the temple to view it. Temples are open, people can walk through them, all that they want. Once the temple is dedicated, though, to the Lord, then the only people who can enter the temple are worthy members of the church. And just because you're Mormon doesn't mean that you can enter. Remember, We feel it's a very holy place, and only those that are judged worthy can enter therein. Now, we're not saying that people have to be perfect to get in the temple, because we all sin. We're just talking about being worthy. And that's like saying, are you doing everything you should be doing? And are you continually repenting for those things that you haven't been doing? I can say that, if I were to try to give you an example of that, it would be somebody who decides that, hey, you know what, I don't feel like I'm going to go to church on Sunday anymore. Well, you can almost guarantee that kind of person isn't going to go in the temple either. I can kind of only assume here that when you said if your viewers saw the sacred rites, they would not think it Christian. Wow. I already know that you don't have a personal knowledge about what goes on inside the temple. And so you describing it would actually be a lie. And then mentioning that it's not Christian is just another false witness that you're bearing against me. And I'm your neighbor. Mormons are your neighbors. You're just kind of assuming that it's not Christian. And that, my friend, isn't right at all. The next thing you bring up is that women can receive salvation only through their Mormon husband. I don't know where you got that belief. It is not one that we believe. So again, you're right. I'm not going to be knocking on your door to say, hi, I'm Mr. Nyrome. I'm Mormon. Your church is wrong. I wear special underwear. I'm not going to tell you anything about the temple. And women can receive salvation only through us. They're Mormon men. If you look at the Mormon faith at all, to know that we believe in eternal marriage, husband and wife being married forever and ever and ever. That is a man taking a woman as a wife, and at the same time, that is a woman taking a man as her husband. A man taking, yes. So we need each other. And, what we believe is that within the celestial kingdom, you can get to the celestial kingdom without being married, but you get to a higher level if you're married. So the woman, too, is put into the same position. She can't make it without her husband, but the man can't make it without his wife. So it's definitely a partnership. Then you bring up, you say that a woman must remain pregnant through all eternity. This one really blew me out of the water. And when you started laughing, I started laughing because that was just totally ridiculous. So again, you're absolutely right. We would not tell people. I wouldn't be knocking on the door. Hi, I'm Mr. Nyrome. I'm Mormon. Your church is wrong. I wear special underwear called garments. I'm not going to tell you anything about our temples. The women, receive salvation only through us, their men, and we believe that all women will remain pregnant throughout all eternity. I'm not sure where people come up with this stuff, but it's interesting that when they do, there are people who just buy into it and believe it. I also noticed some of the other things you said, that it's the intent of Mormons to have many wives in heaven, multiple sex relations. I started laughing at that. You brought up the Virgin Mary, being not a virgin. You brought up Jesus having 3 wives and children. This is not doctrine by any means that is taught by the Mormon Church. So once again, all you're doing is taking the information that you've received from these other sites, and then you obviously looked at it and said, oh, I've got to do something about it, and then you post a video. But really, I think you need to study a little bit more yourself and find out more about the Mormon religion, because the way you've displayed it is totally off base. So just thought I'd let you know that. Thanks. Take care, and you have a good one. Bye.